All right, Grant. Pre-show shenanigans. Today we've got something for the NFL. Today we've got something for the Minnesota Vikings, and today we specifically have something about your favorite wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. If you
Well,
thought I
my
was going to
favorite wide
start
receiver
talking
is
about Michael
Jeremiah Smith.
Floyd, okay. I was going to say if you thought I was
Fair,
talking about Michael
fair, fair
Floyd,
for
then
mine to.
yeah, you know. But so, anyways, Justin Jefferson apparently, alleged capital J journalism allegedly, okay, has a physical trait, an ability that on top of his athleticism makes him the best wide receiver
Okay,
in the
quick
NFL.
question. Is it comparable to Aaron Donald's ability to teleport at the end of his career and how he was able to teleport two gaps over? Is it similar to that?
Yeah,
Maybe a little
you could,
witchcraft involved?
yes,
Okay. All right.
yes.
Okay.
So obviously Justin Jefferson, fantastic route runner, fantastic, has good hands, makes all these crazy plays. Grant, what if I told you Justin Jefferson has the ability to manipulate his dominant eye?
Um, how?
So I don't I'm kind of going off of what I remember. I don't have it pulled up fully in front of me, but he's done some studies and stuff. Um, Majority of the population of just the world has one dominant eye. That
Yes.
is what kind of focuses on stuff when
Yeah.
you're going to grab, and like when that's why you kind of like when you have
Yeah.
snipers or you do an archery, you kind of close one eye so you can see.
Hmm.
There are people who can control which eye is
Select.
dominant. Like they can select, hey, left eye, hey, right eye, right? So
Okay.
Justin Jefferson has the ability to
To
select
switch.
and
Okay.
control which eye is his dominant eye.
How
So,
does this play into wide receiver? I'm trying
so
to
Grant,
think, and I can't
when you
think of an
have a
answer.
play like the catch he made versus the Bills a couple of years ago, when the ball's in the air and you're kind of sideways, you can control which way your eye is looking, and it helps you focus and track the ball. So the ball's coming down. Let's say it starts on your right side, the ball starts falling to your left side. You can switch the dominance from looking at that right eye to looking through the left eye, and you have a better ability to then,
Yeah, I'm
hand-eye
imagining
coordination.
over the shoulder catches would be the most applicable.
Yes, but generally speaking, it just means you have, obviously the way that your eyes work, you fill in, your eyes will fill in and kind of make up spatial things. So your rear
Yeah.
view, right? So if I'm dominant with my right eye, a lot more of my left stuff I'm not going to be able to focus on,
Yes. Hmm.
or, it's going to be making up a little bit more, right? So in this kind of way, I'm able to kind of see, hey, I'm going to the left. I can switch. I kind of see a little bit more around me, and I can now track the ball better and use hand-eye coordination better compared to somebody like me or you. Not saying we're elite athletes, but compared to another wide receiver,
Yeah.
very helpful.
Just real quick, while you bring up eye dominance, I would love to. Now I know if I were to ever meet Justin Jefferson, this is now what I'm going to ask because I'm right-handed, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
left eye dominant. And
Interesting.
yeah, and so I figured this out recently. My dad is left eye dominant. Um, my brother is left eye dominant, but he's also a lefty.
Okay.
So like I just kind of thought your eye would go with your hand.
Mine does. I
Um,
mean, I'm right eye dominant.
yeah, I think that's normal
If I ever
to go
try and
with.
like wink at you or something, I can't close my right eye like solo. I can only close my left one solo.
Yeah, like my
Like
my
I have
right
to close
wink.
both my eyes.
I
Yeah.
look like Patchy, like the pirate right now. The
No, I legitimately
left
am
kind of hits,
incapable.
but
I'm incapable of closing my right eyelid like I have to
by
close both.
itself.
I have to close both eyelids if I'm closing my right one. Might be a medical problem.
Oh,
I don't
so it's the
know.
non-dominant eye that you can wink easier.
I can close this one, which is my non-dominant
Now,
eye.
is that a you thing or is that a life thing?
I
Like,
think that
do
might
we
just be a
know that
me
it's
issue. That could just be a me issue because I can't close my I just can't close my right eye without closing both.
yeah, I would say would it yeah, winking, huh? I've never really thought about which eye I'm better at winking with.
I'm assuming it'd probably be
Uh
your non-dominant eye is easier to close than the other one.
okay, quick caveat.
Maybe
Right now,
you
my
might
right
be Justin
contact
Jefferson.
lens
I
is
don't know.
bothering me a bit,
Uh,
and
So and
That's a
we'll have to
factor into
conduct a
this.
study. We'll have to conduct a study later.
Yeah, that's an extra little detail, little extra variable in the math equation there with the contacts in. But yeah, I mean, just while you're bringing up eye dominance, I would imagine if I could pick a sport where it would be most useful, baseball.
Oh,
Just
100%. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Look at, I mean, your ability to hit and also, I mean,
I
obviously,
wonder though,
if you're in the
what would
outfield and
be
stuff.
the what? Oh yeah, well outfield too, 100%. I'm thinking though, what are the best uses? I hope Andy Pa has his like gets both of his eyes dominant because holy shit, this dude's
I
reads
mean,
when the ball is hit at him. He like never
it
takes the
is
correct first step ever.
it's definitely easier. Like if you are a hitter and you can hit switch, like that would be where it's most
I would
important. If you
imagine
can hit
that
switch.
helps. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Not sure, but
But
I'd imagine.
I would imagine.
Other
Outside of
thing
that,
that I can think of is there's a good amount of lefty hitters and not like lefty hitters, but they're
that throw righty.
right-handed.
But that could also
And
be a thing where it's like you, where they're left eye dominant, right handed.
well, this is one thing I remember. Like I had a friend who had an elite season closing in the Mission League. So you can maybe if you're smart right now, whoever's watching, you might be able to pick out who this is, who I'm talking about. But I
It's Grant.
remember no, not me. I wish I could put up a 1.8 ERA as a closer in Mission League. Hell no. But my friend, he's a righty thrower, righty in
Yep.
life, but he hit lefty growing up his whole life.
Growing.
Always growing up. Not grew from Despicable Me, but he
Yeah,
always
that's
hit
exactly
lefty,
where I was going with that.
always hit lefty but threw righty. And he said that because he hit lefty, he regrets that growing up because he thought by the time he's in high school, he's a PO, pitcher only. All of his body like motions are torquing to the left, and when
Mm-hmm.
you're hitting, you're torquing to the right. And like he was saying that it's screwed up. Like he topped out at like 79 miles an hour. He was like, I literally could not generate as much hit
Like
movement.
throwing?
Yeah, still put up a 1.8. So damn, Mission
Well,
League kind of
hey,
sucked.
I
Hey,
mean,
dude's
Shota
going up
Umanga
against Pete
doesn't.
Crow Armstrong. All I gotta say, going up against Pete.
Shota doesn't throw that fast either. He's in the MLB.
Shota throws harder than
Shota.
79.
Well, yeah, I'm saying by MLB standards. By MLB
Oh,
standards.
no, yeah, but
That's
it's
the
like
point.
MLB. You need at least a baseline 92. All right,
Yeah.
baseline 92.
Yeah, no, if your
90
fastball is
or
hitting
91.
89, we're questioning.
Yeah, the only way you can do an 89 is if you throw under. The only way it's
Yeah, if you're a
acceptable.
submarine.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I mean, I feel like what,
eye dominance there. Back to Justin Jefferson. This I would say this is a special trait. I'm trying to think of another position where that would really help. Is
in
the
football.
answer safety? Because you're just staring at the quarterback so much. Like
Well, I mean, I'm just like, here's the thing. Like, if we're talking about general body control, like if you can have equal body control on both sides, it's corner. But I legitimately think because
well, I'm thinking like corner, like
well, I'm just saying,
depending on if you're in man or not. Like
I'm just saying, like, if you have equal body control, obviously, like, you're probably going to be more dominant and leaning towards one side than the other. So if you can, play it the same way. Also, maybe it's like that way you can play.
Staring at
Yeah,
the quarterback.
but
So,
I'm saying
like,
maybe it's more so like if you're playing corner, then you're on the right side of the field and you can play the left side of the field because there's going to be different traits like that way. But I really think the only one where
yeah, I think
maybe
it's more. I don't know what it is exactly, but like I just think there's some corners who are just like better, like kind of back to the baseball torque. They're just better going
better
one
on
way than
one
the
way.
other.
Yeah, no, yeah. I do think that really in football it probably only applies to wide receivers. They're the only ones that really have to track it that way. Like safeties, you can it's
Yeah,
not like
would it really help a quarterback?
no, like what maybe
Why
just
does it matter?
peripheral vision. What like I don't know.
Yeah, well, I have no idea if like idomics helps that. Like I'm really thinking
no, that
you can
needs to be a
just
study.
slightly change the angle at what you're like.
Yeah, that or like the focus, so like you're able to like reach out and like do things more like accessibly, if that makes sense. Like you'll have an easier time catching with
Yeah.
your left hand if you can see through the left eye versus right hand,
Yeah,
right
I
eye.
guess. I would say though, in my humble opinion, uh, the eye thing is a cool feature, like a nice update. But what makes Justin Jefferson going is everything else.
No,
The
I
eyes,
know.
it's a nice update. All right. It's
But
a
I am
nice
just
little
saying,
DLC
I am just
micro
saying,
expansion.
it's the add-ons. I am
Yeah,
just
it's
saying
like you
though, it
used
does
all the VC on skills and everything, and now it's like, oh, let's get this random ability.
it does help. Like it's gotta help, your ability to make those contested catches and like just keep track of the ball in the air like that. That's more so the major thing that I think the point is. Oh, he has this ability, and it makes it easier for you to do certain things that may be more difficult otherwise.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Justin Jefferson glaze of the week, everybody. Soak it all in, take it all in. Uh, I don't know how much more NFL we're gonna have today, but we have another football player to talk about. But without further ado, time for the episode. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today's episode 307, 307. I do not have the area code on top of my head. I will
I
quickly
do not
take
either.
a look at 307 area code. Which city or the area code for the entire state of Wyoming. It is the
Oh, we
only
apologize.
area code for Wyoming. And yeah, it serves the entire state of Wyoming. So shout out to Josh Allen, right? Wyoming
Yes.
QB.
QB. Yes.
Yes, believe it was at Wyoming. So shout out to Josh Allen. That's your area code shout out. But episode 307, and Rory McIlroy has completed the career Grand Slam. He has won the Masters. The NBA playoffs are also set. So that means we have our NBA 2024-2025 season preview to go over today. And Nico Iamaleava, your program, has entered the transfer portal after trying to renegotiate his NIL deal. And the slight tidbits. Oh, is this a fraud alert? Or is
no,
this
no, no, no.
aliens? Is Voldemort outside? Did you see a vampire in New Orleans? What is it?
Well, you know what? It is technically a vampire by New Orleans. There's a mosquito right in the corner of my room, and I need to go slap that thing before it.
Oh, he just wants
away.
a live listen into the Waterboy pod.
Welcome
in. Welcome in.
You choose. Yeah, I'm gonna let you choose where we start. I'm gonna go kill this thing. Give me 20 seconds.
All right. Okay. Hopefully, Everett could do this in a prompt, quick manner. But it has been a crazy weekend of sports. The Nico news right now.
Nico Iamaleava
dominating everything. Yeah, Nico Iamaleava, your program. It is an interesting time in college football now. Where do I even begin with this? Why
don't I begin?
Yeah,
because it does kind of relate more.
So
I'll say this: this is going to go in a two-lane direction. Okay, I'm going to start with that.
Okay.
I just feel like it is kind of on podcast topic. I got it.
I'm very interested in the circumstances at Tennessee. What I'll harp back into, but
no, well, I am too, and I'm gonna kind of freight. We'll phase back into that. But I think with the situation at hand, Tulane is interested in the quarterback. When Jaden Rashada left, Tulane was attached to them, and it wasn't too much noise. But today, when On3 went out and they posted, "Hey, Tulane is interested in Nico," that I think got a lot of people's attention because, like, in my opinion, look, he's from the West Coast. We talked about this before. He's going to go back to the West Coast. I'd be really, really surprised if Tulane is able to land.
Maybe, but like, I don't know how.
But like,
it's more big of a deal it is.
It's more of to say, like, if you leave Tennessee, a big Power 4 program,
because of NIL.
I know, but if it's also the world of NIL though. Like, if
Tennessee Tulane wrapped him in open arms.
But I'm saying if Tulane offers him $4 or $5 million, I've heard allegedly maybe there's a $5 million offer on the table. Not sure, allegedly. If Tulane lands him with NIL money, that completely alters the way that we're looking at NIL, because this is a guy who's now leaving a top Power 4 program for a G5 school. and a
Well,
G5 school
yeah.
that like that one will demonstrate the power of NIL, but I think it's going to it's going to make people reevaluate the way that we're going about NIL because that's a clear like separation there where you're having a kid go to a lower level school just
Well, yeah.
specifically for the money. Um, but I think going back to the circumstances of Tennessee, it's just really interesting because I think the biggest thing is what it was Josh Pate saying that
Yeah,
he
no, the
was and other
biggest news
players were
story
threatening to
without
leave in the playoffs.
question is before their playoff game against Ohio State, Nico, I believe, was he either did or he was advised to hold out or threat holding out of the playoff game to renegotiate his NIL deal. And now this isn't like exactly confirmed, but like what's kind of going around is that it's Nico's dad who is the instigator in having Nico renegotiate his NIL money. And like this is the one thing else, like I think a lot of this shit's getting directed at Nico right now. And yeah, snaky behavior. Like this isn't a good
Well, it's
decision,
also like
but like it the people around him are the ones forcing him to do this. And
I mean, I don't know. I think it is partially that, and obviously agents
yeah.
want money and everything else. But like at the same time, Nico has the ability to say yes or no. He is the client. He's going to tell them whether or not to go ahead with something. Um, and so ultimately, it's up to his own discretion. It's not up to anybody else. But I think like one of the points that I saw was I mean that is ultimately what it is. He is the person making the decisions. It's his choice.
I know he has to sign the paper.
So
I'm
like
not putting all the
I
blame on
know
him.
well I know his dad has apparently allegedly a very big role in approaching like Tennessee and talking about leaving and stuff.
Yep.
Which we see a lot. But it's also interesting to me though, like I think this is a greater point because I'm not really surprised it came up as a general concept being like, hey, we made all this money for the regular season, the championship game, but now we're in the playoffs. Your coach is getting bonuses for making the playoffs. The players should too.
Oh,
And
I from that angle, oh, I'm with
like
you on that. Yeah.
that's something that I kind of expected to see and we didn't hear about really
Yeah,
at
I
all until
honestly
right now. And I will
to
say with
this
that,
point
like
I haven't heard anything about
I
like
will
Ohio
say with
State
that,
players getting bonuses for I
look,
haven't heard any of that. So
if I think there's two different things. Like Notre Dame and Ohio State, those players, obviously, certain ones of them are getting NIL money, but like those players are playing in the playoffs for their logo. They're playing for their school and for pride and to have the rings. That's what they're playing for. At the end of the
yeah.
day, that's the program. I think there's other schools like Tennessee, those kids are more focused on money than Tennessee. And I
Oh,
just think
sorry, Texas A&M. Sorry. Hiccup in
I
my
just
throat.
think
Sorry.
I just think
Oh.
generally speaking, it's the same thing. Like for the coaches that are getting that money, right? The coaches are getting those incentives as something in their contract. And if you're a player and you want incentives for making the playoffs, build it into the contract. Don't be like, well, now we should be getting money for it. You should have put in the contract to begin with. That's maybe another level to the onion of NIL
Yeah,
deals that we're
yeah,
going to
things
see.
are gonna
But
evolve. Yeah.
but I do think that it gets to a certain point where it's like, okay, what if I win the national championship? Am I going to get this much incentive? Because it's going to take out of the amount of money that you're going to allocate to players because you have to, it's like a similar thing to cap space, right? Like if you have a bonus for a player, you have to allocate that money as part of the cap, then you would get it back if they don't earn it. So
Oh yeah, sure.
that just it's a complicated nuance to the world of NIL. And I don't think that we've really seen any program address it. And even then, I feel like in the whole grand scheme of things here, it's still kind of been as a lesser thing, talking about Nico and talking about Tennessee. Like, I think that that's actually one of the bigger issues here that's not been addressed is where NIL is going to go from that direction. Because as the playoffs continue to
Well,
expand
yeah.
and more programs get into it, I think that that's one of the things. And you also have coaches saying, hey, we support Tennessee and they're just no nonsense, approach to this, not wanting to deal with Nico. But there are going to be other schools like A&M who'll be like, fuck yeah, I'll pay you $50 million or $5 million if you win the national championship. Just come over here. Like, so
Oh yeah,
it's
and
just two
I
different sides of
know
the
the
same coin.
A&M donors will gladly pay 5 million for a guy who just won an Natty, 100%.
Oh yeah, no,
What are you
100%,
talking about?
100%,
Big 'em.
100%. Yeah, that, and just also the incentives for being, hey, if you make it back to the playoffs, we'll pay this much. If you make it to the next round, we'll pay you this much, and just continuing down that kind of trend, anyways.
Yeah, you got like little clauses like that. Yeah, what you were just saying, the future of NIL. Yeah, that's no, that is the best part right now. I'm slightly harping off of Josh Pate in his segment, but yeah, a big problem with college football right now are the people in charge do not first, they don't know what they're doing, and it's quite evident that you've seen recently in college football how it is drastically changed year to year. Shit, every week a new what the hell moment happens, and the people in charge do not have the ability to foresee future problems. They're incapable of it, and that creates a big problem for college football if the leaders in charge don't know how to foresee a problem because they don't really watch the sport they
We're
govern.
talking about the
So it's
NCAA to
yeah,
clarify.
well, yeah, that like playoff
Committee,
committee to a degree,
yeah.
like the athletic directors at schools, like the big names in charge. They really do not like actually care about college football. Like that isn't their goal. Like that's not what they care about. And yeah, college football right now, the big problem is there is no rules. It is the Wild West. Like right now, what like Nico's doing, we all like are looking down on it, like, dude, what the hell? But like I don't know what the exact number
I
is.
mean,
But
it's
if you
just
can get 5 million, I don't know how much more of a pay
it
increase that is, but
yeah.
yeah, if you're getting 5 million, yeah, yeah.
I do get
Oh yeah, no,
interested.
my ass is in the transfer portal if I'm about to
I
get
do
five
get
million.
interested. Like obviously, objectively speaking, yeah, go get your bag. Like we want all the players. We want players to get their money. Um, and I think I've said that a lot, and I think I've also been a little hypocritical about it because at the same time I've been like, hey, it makes it really difficult for programs like Tulane to build. But that's where this comes into play because I'm saying, also if you can get your money and they're prioritizing going to a G5 program over over a P4 because of money, like that's a completely different thing. And that kind of discredits the whole concern about going to G5 programs if you're able to build that. But it does get interesting to me though, where you have players leaning more into the money side of things like this, and I'm like, if I'm an NFL team, Grant,
Well, yeah.
but if I'm an NFL team and I'm seeing like, hey, this guy's jumping ship the moment he's getting an offer for more
I
money,
don't think the NFL gives a shit.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
like
just
slight degree,
I feel
but
like to a
at the end
slight
of the
degree,
day,
I
I
just feel like
I I don't
to
think the
me,
NFL
like
is that
that's
concerned
it's
about
just
guys
more of
getting
like
that.
I don't know. Like if it was me, like I would maybe draw a little bit of concern to that if I'm like a team forward guy, because to me that shows less of an affinity for your team and more affinity for just money.
Well,
And I'm
yeah,
not saying that
sure.
that's not, money is obviously important, but at the same time, like I think that if you have a kid who's been at, a program the entire time and like a Tom Brady at, we'll talk about the Patriots where he was taking discounts to be on the Patriots, right? Like that just shows character. So I just think we might get into a field in college football where we might start to just, there's different character things and just those aspects that get, just interesting as you go to like the next level.
I personally would not use if I had two similar, exact, identical players talent wise, everything is equal except one jump ship all the time for NIL and the other stay at the program. Yeah, I'm gonna take the dude who stayed there. Yeah, of course. But if you got an uber talented guy who's always in the portal, uh, or a less talented guy who's loyal, yeah, no, give me the 5 star runs the 4.3. I'll take him. I'll take him
Yeah,
every day of
yeah,
the week.
no, I get it. I get it from a no, from a college perspective, entirely makes sense. It's just like it's just another wrinkle that I was just thinking about that I was more so I was more so proposing as an inquiry as to kind of how we think if there's any impact
Yeah,
there.
like
But
NFL wise,
I don't know. That's
I
just one of
wouldn't.
those things.
I don't think I'd really be turned off of a guy.
Um,
Like more so, I'd be concerned of his development. Like, oh shit, maybe he's played under 3 different coaches for his 3 years. Like I'd be more concerned with like how his development was harmed.
Yeah, with Nico, I mean his development was probably already harmed at Tennessee, considering they don't run a
Well,
typical
like that's
offense to
just
begin with.
another thing that's
So
just going to be like, yeah, like last year it wasn't football at Tennessee. Like that was a different sport. I don't even know what to call it. That was not football that they were
yeah,
on. Different
I mean
sport.
it is. It's just this is also one of those things where like it being a holdout in college sports in its own right, like that's also like it's the first time we've had that with NIL,
Yeah,
at
well,
least to
my
this
favorite part of
degree.
this whole thing
And
is hearing the people think expanding the playoffs will mean more players care, more opportunity. No, expanding the playoffs just means OHIL win it every year, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you, college football playoff. I love it. I
I
absolutely love it.
I
But
I do just think like, with the holdout and stuff like there needs to be regular like this is a pure example of like the NCAA needing to regulate things. The NCAA needing to set a standard for how NIL runs is a player shouldn't really hold a program hostage just because they feel like they deserve more money. Like you signed that deal. If you didn't, then you should just go in the portal. Don't hold the program over your head because if I think what we've seen from a lot of programs being like, we're not going to deal with this. And I think that if you create a standard where players do that, then you're going to run into a little bit of an issue.
not deal as in like we're not taking players from the portal or like what do
No,
you?
as in like if you approach us and you're like, well, I'm not going to play unless you up my deal to 3 million, and be like,
Oh,
all right, then just don't
like a
fucking play.
current player.
Yes. It's like, all
Yeah,
right, then just
get the
don't
hell out.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, my example recently there was a uh pretty solid ranked 4-star D end named Amari Aber. I believe he was either in the range of 80th in the class to 150th in the class. Committed to Ohio State 2 years ago, I believe. His first year, he's obviously buried in the depth chart behind JTT, Sawyer, Kenyatta. He might have been fourth string if even his first year at Ohio State. That would have been lucky if he was fourth string. But he entered the transfer portal a year ago, around the time last cycle, and
Mm-hmm.
he posted on like TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, posted somewhere uh, to the agent who told me to leave Ohio State for the NIL. SMD, suck my Amari
Yeah.
Aber. That's what he said. But I would say like you see examples of just it's not a good idea to transfer, and like we have seen that happen. Shit, like I'm thinking college basketball, the amount of guys transferred and like they're at worse situations than if they stayed. Like there was a big thing for college basketball, some of the top guys, but like
Well, also like every quarterback besides Arch, really, I think in the top 10 of that class have
I
transferred.
don't even know who else is like really in that.
Let me pull it up. What was that? 2023?
Three
Uh
2023. Lagway, is he? No, he's year
he's not a
below.
part of that. No, he's 20
Who else is
he's
even in
24.
that?
He's 24. I'm pulling it up right now. So this is just by on three. I know on 24/7, Arch is the number one prospect, just FYI. But Nico, Arch, Jackson Arnold, Dante Moore, Malachi Nelson,
Oh
Sam Leavitt is
shit.
still
Yeah,
there.
no, this is an awful
I'm
list.
gonna
Oh
actually
boy.
hold on, pull up 24/7, 2023, because that's gonna be better. Um, yeah, here. So Arch still at Texas. Nico gone. Dante gone. Jackson Arnold gone. Malachi Nelson gone. Jaden Rosada gone. Aiden Chills. No idea who the
Childs.
Childs. Oh,
Baller,
that's the guy.
Michigan
That's the
State.
yeah, Michigan
Baller.
State gone. Austin Mack is still at Washington. I'm pretty sure.
Nope,
Avery
he's at
Johnson.
Bama with Kalen DeBoer.
Oh, that makes sense. Avery Johnson is still at K State.
Good
Um,
for Avery. Love the hair.
and then 10 is Christopher Vizina. I don't know how it says he was at
Michigan?
Clemson. It
Oh,
says he
oh,
was at
wait.
Clemson, but
Wait, yeah. He's ass, but
yeah, I
yeah,
believe he's still at Clemson though. So
could be. Yeah, no, that whole class is awful.
yeah, and then Keen
Justin
Holes.
Fields is so going to be an NFL starter in 2 years from now. 100.
But yeah, I mean, out of those top tens, you have one guy who's
Is
shit, and
wait, you just said Keen holes at the end?
Keen Holes is
Oh,
11.
yeah. All right. Okay.
He's 11. But like out of those guys, okay, we have 3 in the top 10 who are still there. One of them is, we don't know. We haven't confirmed. Either way, we know he's ass. One of them is at K-State. The other one is at Texas. Everybody else in the top 10 is transferred.
Wait, who is the ass on there?
Christopher Vizina.
Yeah.
He's still behind Kate. If he's that close.
About him at all. Yeah, no, the quarterback situation right now is quite grim. Like, this is one thing. Mid to late 2010s, like Joe Burrow specifically, just set this standard in college football that offense equals winning. Game changer, generational quarterback equals championships. Like, Tua, T-Law, Deshaun Watson, like Deshaun Watson, what he did to Alabama in 2016, like that had Nick Saban be like, I can't just run the ball. Like, I need to throw. Like Nick Saban was even willing to innovate his whole game plan as a coach because of Deshaun Watson, to be honest. Like, that's the reason why Nick Saban was like, shit, we're passing out. Let me go get Judy, Ruggs, Waddle.
He might have one of the biggest career fall offs of like a single player.
Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
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 Yes. It's the craziest shit of all time. He's like 29.
I legitimately can't tell if he's like intentionally doing it at this point. He actually is he's just like, no, I'm fine. I got my money. I don't care anymore.
I'm not saying he's intentionally trying to suck. I just don't see that happening. But
he's got his money that's fully guaranteed.
Right now, today, April 14, 20. Yeah, no. He don't give a shit. Why would he? Like,
no, true.
But it's like there was this precedent set, like the game changer quarterback is how you're going to win a national championship. Even the Bamas of the world.
Yeah, I still think that mentality applies. Like, that's why Nico...
Oh, no. That mentality has absolutely been thrown out the window since COVID.
Well, no, I'm saying
team.
I think it applies. I think it applies to a degree because we see how much money teams are spending on quarterbacks to get them over there.
I mean, great quarterback is excellent, don't get me wrong. But would you rather have a 5-star gem quarterback surrounded with shit? Will Howard surrounded with that?
Yeah, from a perspective of the sport, no, obviously Walker, Will Howard with everybody around him being Jeremiah Smith, whatever. Yeah, obviously that's winning the championship. But I do think that teams we're seeing with the money spent in the transfer portal, with how much is being spent on quarterbacks, that is where I'm getting at, where I'm still saying there's a value towards that.
Well, I'm saying all the programs like going after paying the quarterback crazy, ridiculous money. Like, look what's happening at those programs. It's not really working out. And as an Ohio State fan, I love you doing it. Keep on keeping on. Yes, give, I don't know, 5 million, 20 million's the number. So if you want,
it is just interesting though, because I feel like for certain programs though, like, if Tulane were to spend $5 million and land Nico, like, maybe not everything around him is great.
I think Tulane, Nico is enough to just make Tulane the best.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a different approach. Like, for certain schools, it is the quarterback is like one of the most important things.
Yeah, like, and for Tulane, like, if Nico's there, it's like, he might put up 8,000 yards.
Like, also, like, okay, if Nico went to USC, do I think that means USC is going to be a top 3-4 team in the Big Ten? No. If he if he goes to UCLA, same thing, except maybe use
2-10. So.
Maybe at least UCLA sells a little bit more tickets. Like, they'll be a little bit more relevant. But I forgot that they are in the Rose Bowl. But like, they'll be a little bit more relevant. But at the same time, if it's like that versus like, a Tulane, like even maybe UNC might be in a similar position to Tulane.
For the content, I really want him to go to North Carolina. Just for the content of Bill Belichick, year one takes that guy.
Yeah. Oh, it is interesting to me though, because this is where I'm like, all right, I believe does UNC have a 5-star quarterback coming in? Or is he I don't know. They have a 4 or 5-star coming in. I know USC has a 5-star coming in, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what UCLA's got going on, but like, it is interesting to me where like you have a quarterback that might come in.
He goes to UCLA. Let me just make that.
That's what I think. It's USC. Yeah, if he goes to an LA school, but I mean, it's just going to be interesting. I think the fallout of this, depending on what school he chooses to go to, is going to be really interesting. And I love the fact that it's
Well, I mean, like the
everything's on
fallout's
Nico
kind of
now.
already like,
No,
like
it's already happened, but I do think like there could be even more dependent. Like if he chose to go to like a Tulane or somehow going to another G5 school, like that creates such a different situation than him just choosing to go to like USC.
yeah,
I
like
also think even then like a
yeah,
UNC too,
yeah.
like it could be revitalizing for a program that
I
has
really
had
want to go to North
difficulties.
Carolina. Oh my God.
So
It
and then
would
there's Jaden Rashada and all of this too, by the way, because he's not going anywhere until Nico signs somewhere.
Jaden Rashada.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Who cares? He's not like he's not like
UCLA
genuinely.
cares,
Who
Grant.
cares?
UCLA cares.
Oh, yeah, we don't care about UCLA. Yeah, no.
No.
Could not care less about that. But yeah, right now it's college football. It's a very very great time. Reminds you how much I absolutely adore this sport to its fullest extent during these times. Uh, but it's like here, this like if Ohio State were actually interested in Nico, like the first day it came out, there were rumors.
Yeah, I know. I
I don't
texted
think
you.
they
I
are.
immediately goes, "Oh, funny when he's going to be the Ohio State
Like
quarterback."
if Nico's like okay, if Nico was Ohio State quarterback, I think it would like help a little bit. Like a little bit from what I've heard about Julian saying Lincoln Kinos right now, and specifically like the
Yeah, I mean,
rumor
obviously
Lincoln
having
Kinos
somebody
been
that's
outperformed.
kind of quote unquote proven themselves as a starter, quote unquote, obviously it's a upgrade overall. But it's not necessarily saying worth 5 million for that or 4 million for that for Ohio State. If I was Ohio State, I'd be like, you can take three, you can be happy with three, and you can win a national championship. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, but yeah, I mean, moving on a little bit, we got some very big news from this weekend, Grant. Uh, Masters news. Rory McIlroy has completed the Grand Slam. I will also say having the score bug saying putt, it's like his putt and it was to win career, like for career Grand Slam, might be the hardest score bug of all time and might also be like one of the most stressful things anybody has had to deal with in one moment in time. Um, that's crazy. That's just crazy. And he persevered through so many things, including you and your brother cursing him, with you
I think
taking
probably the
him as
largest
the winner.
circumstances he had to overcome.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Curse of
you two,
it.
yeah, no,
It's
you two
tough.
definitely
It's
are
tough to
yeah,
beat
yeah,
that
no. The
curse.
Grant curse is definitely one of the hardest forms of adversity that you have to ever deal with.
Yeah,
It
but
might
Rory
actually be
now.
the fact that you did curse him is why he won. Like it kind of counteracted it a little
Oh,
bit. Like that is possible.
that could also
Like
be it.
the Yamamoto inverse curse where you
Yeah,
stayed up to watch him and then it kind of went bad and then it went good.
I got to see one really awful thing, and then moving forward, it'll be great.
Yeah.
But he joins a rare group of golfers. He is one of six golfers to have won all four majors. Uh, Gene Sarazen, uh, potentially grandfather of Matt Saracen from Friday Night Lights, not confirmed. Ben Hogan, Gary Player, heard of him. Jack Nicklaus, heard of him. Tiger, and now Rory
Yeah,
McIlroy.
I would just also like to clarify for
Damn,
anybody
Arnold
who's
Palmer didn't
about
make
to
that list. Shit.
clown Grant. He knows it's Jack Nicholas. It's just
Well, I mean,
anytime.
to be honest, you just clarify this right now already ruined the whole bit. You either know or you don't know Nicklaus or not. So
No,
not
I
gonna
know.
be
I'm
talking
just
about
saying.
that
I'm just. Hey,
anymore.
I'm just saying. We know it's Nicholas, but if you know,
No,
you know.
no, yeah. Ooh, yeah, no, the whole point of that little thing right there is for someone to call me out saying to class, it's like, you expose yourself, buddy. I'm not gonna edit that out. Whatever. Maybe one day you guys will pick up on that one. But Grand Slam, great achievement for Rory. I would say this has me now interested in golf, and I recently saw a slideshow of like the green
Slideshow.
jacket ceremony,
Okay.
putting the green jacket on the champ for like the past 15, 20 years. And
Yeah.
one thing I notice is there's a pretty good trend of someone wins the Masters, they don't win it the next year, put the green jacket on someone, and then the year after,
So you
that guy wins the Masters,
and
and the
puts it
guy
back
who
on.
they put the green jacket on puts it on him now.
Yeah.
And so that could, Scotty's winning it next year. Rory's going to put the thing back
Back
on
on Scotty.
Scotty. Yeah.
Well, I think that that's not like an ongoing trend. I think that it did happen with Scotty, but I don't necessarily know if I think that it's like a really
Bubba had
consistent
it.
thing.
Bubba Watson had it. There
Let's
was
see.
Tiger did it with Phil. Well, Tiger wins, puts it on Phil.
I mean, I'm just gonna look.
Phil wins, Tiger puts it on him. Then the year
I'm
after,
gonna look. Yeah,
Tiger wins.
So
Phil puts it on Tiger. Then the year after Phil wins, Tiger put it on Phil. Like
so
3 straight years. It was
so
beautiful.
here's 2001 Tiger, 2002 Tiger. So Tiger, I need to look that up.
I don't know how that works.
I need to
how
see
do they do that?
because I was born in 2001, right? I was not
I
was not competent enough.
2000 winner to
I was not aware enough.
Again?
I would not have been aware enough to see.
VJ? Did VJ do it twice?
VJ. You're saying he just did it both years because he was like,
yeah, because we just go to the previous champion.
Maybe I also didn't know VJ was from Fiji. I did not know that.
That was one of the fun facts I did know by heart.
Oh, you did?
I did know that one. That one
I did not. But yeah, so Tiger. I think that was also the last time it's ever been back to back.
I believe the only time this century.
Tiger did Mike Weir. I don't know. Never heard. I honestly never heard of him. Then Phil. Then Tiger. Then Phil.
Yeah.
After that,
Phil Tiger Phil. Right
Phil Tiger Phil. After that, we had Bubba, Adam Scott, Bubba.
Yeah. There we go.
And we haven't had
Spieth is sprinkled in there.
Then it's Scotty, John Rahm, Scotty. Mm-hmm. Spieth didn't have it. Like Spieth's after Bubba, but there's no back to back. So we have Scotty, Bubba, Phil, and technically Tiger. Those are the 3 like latest. I'd say over the past 20 years. We'll say over the past since 2000, where it's happened.
Yeah, but that is interesting. Who put the green jacket on Tiger Woods in 2002?
Let's see. It's
a damn good question.
On Tiger in 2002. I'm about to find out. Okay, it says the chairman of Augusta presented the green jacket. This was because he was
chairman of Augusta has to make it about himself.
So a tradition of previous champion handing it over was not followed. It'd be funny. It was like, I guess I'm just gonna fix my jacket real quick.
That'd be
he puts a green jacket over his green jacket.
Yeah, it'd be very funny if you just like put like a little pin in the collar.
Yeah, I am like a little lapel.
Little handkerchief. Throw it in the
I am
pocket.
I'm going to be honest, because of the standard of Rory's win here. I have a very high bar for what his Masters dinner is going to have to be, and I'm going to be really, 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 really disappointed if he goes out like Bubba, like by how the level of this victory was for him to hit the career like Grand Slam. Like I'm expecting big things. And the fact that it's kind of he's from Northern Ireland and just the trend with UK winners, I'm a little concerned, Grant, of the Masters dinner for next year. But
I don't know.
Ultimately, that is what matters the most.
I do not know if this extends to Ireland, North Ireland, but like, are they serving beans on toast as the appetizer?
Really hope not. I am expecting some Guinness.
Danny Willett will eat that shit up. But
Bubba Watson will be in heaven, dude.
Ooh. I think Bubba Watson would not attend the meal. I think Bubba like will only go if it is playing.
If it is
whoa. If you put like
roasted
more
chicken,
than 3 spices on that, whoa, what the hell are you on?
So beans on toast works, but then he just leaves immediately after. I'm just concerned that it's going to be bland like Bubba Watson's dinner. That's my issue.
I'm not familiar with Northern Irish cuisine. I'm not familiar with the.
It's just kind of all. It just kind of all kind of goes together to me, like just UK's like just blandness, like Bubba.
A little
Um,
cheeky Nando's would be hilarious for Masters.
yeah, that is true.
But yeah,
Um,
no, that was a great tournament. Just a reminder again, the Masters app is on a different stratosphere of goatness.
I actually, fun fact though, I one of my friends was like, yeah, dude, like I really wish I could watch the Masters. I don't have ESPN Plus. Is like, they stream it for free on masters.com. He's like, what?
buddy, buddy,
And I was like, hold
buddy,
up,
buddy,
wait,
buddy.
let me teach you something real quick. I just enlightened people this Masters,
Yeah.
and that was honestly my greatest pride. But I will say,
Oh no, I love it. Telling people
I
like
I want to ask you
just
this.
look up masters.com, click
Yeah.
live stream, and you're watching.
Look, I want to ask you this. Do you think Sunday might have been one of the best days of golf I have ever watched?
Yeah, I was
Um,
dialed in.
but does the way that this ended, is it better, equal, or worse to Tiger winning it in
Tough.
2019?
Like for me at the time, 2019, I couldn't give less of a shit about golf. I was not
But
that
just
concerned.
thinking about it now,
But
and
well, no, I know. But well, what I was gonna say is, even though I did not give a shit at all, despite that, I still gave a shit about that one. Like I did not care at all till I started watching it, and then I was like, oh shit, I actually do really care about this. Like that Tiger thing will just live in memory for us forever because shit, he was winning Masters like before we were born. Like
Mhm.
that's how long he's been the face of golf our whole life. Like you think golf, you think Tiger Woods. Like that's just how it
Yeah,
works. And so like that was cool. And like now getting to revisit it, like hearing some of the guys who are competing against Tiger, like in 98, 99, early 2000s, like those
it
older
was
veterans
crazy to me
reflecting on it, being like,
when
dude, this kid,
I was seeing
I
like
would like,
ads for they were playing after Rory won, and it was like him growing up, and he was like watching Tiger's first Masters when he was like 8 or 9, or I guess maybe he'd have to be like 10. But like I was like, that's crazy. That's just
yeah,
crazy to me.
yeah,
Like think about the timeline of that.
yeah. I would just say though, like Tiger's the most recognizable golfer, like for us. Number two is Phil Mickelson, and then number three is Rory. Like I don't know why I have this memory, but I have a memory from probably Masters like 2011, 2012 when he was choking. Like I remember seeing some clip or segment of Rory when he was like 3 years old in his living room in Ireland, and he's just
Chipping.
chipping golf
Yep.
balls.
No, that I'm talking.
So
They
you've
had
seen the
that in the
same
ad,
thing.
the same ad that
Okay.
I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I have not seen this ad, but I specifically remember that video. And like Rory, we've all known forever. Like
Mhm.
forever. And I'm not in tune with golf. I was under the impression he had won a master. Like I had no idea. But once I would say COVID 2021-ish, like started semi following a bit more, like started becoming aware, like, oh, Rory hasn't like won a major in like,
A decade.
and yeah, and it's like it's like in 2021, it was like, yeah, it's pretty likely he'll never do it again. But yeah, I mean, we love him. And it was like kind of just this belief, like, yeah, no, he's done. And it helps like last 3 years, like Scotty Scheffler's just been like unbelievable, you
So
know?
good.
So it's
The
like,
fact that Scotty also came out like he was in a position where low key like he could have tied it.
oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
that was the crazy. I was legitimately waiting for him to just sink one and make it a one
Yeah,
stroke difference between him and Rory. And I wasn't
yeah,
gonna be surprised, but I was gonna be like amazed.
yeah. But it's like for this one versus Tiger, like the Tiger one is so cool because of all the controversies that followed and like the spotlight put on him and how his golf career was over. And it's like I'm thinking off off the course stuff, but shit. Like even take it to like literal just Tiger Woods as a golfer. Like dude had how many surgeries in the 2010s? Shit, I don't know, like 17 back surgeries. Like off the course aside, on the course, he wasn't looking like he would ever get back
Yeah,
to where he was ever.
it's the comeback
And just
story.
that, like seeing that, and then like you see Tiger like while he's playing, it's like shit, I was like a year old when he was dominating, but like it was cool to see like an older guy, like you saw that like young killer in his
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
Like that was cool to see because I'd never seen that. It's like, oh, like he might be an old man, but like, yeah, no, like he's coming here to like bust your ass. Like he is coming here to win the fucking thing. Like I don't give a shit. Like he's right back to being a dog. But it's like for Rory, like for me, it's all these stories the past like 3 years, how like Rory has done the right thing, like stay in the PGA, not do live, like don't sell out, like all of these things on top. And Rory is so big, everyone knows him. But this one's so cool because it's a guy who has done everything right. Like, well, other than a couple of instances where he's like cussing out Ryder Cup caddies, but forget that. Forget that moment. Forget that.
Hey, that's in the heat of the moment, Grant. It was in the heat of the moment.
Forget that stuff. But for him, it's so cool because it's like I remember him when he was so young, and now he's like a vet, and his celebration, it was like watching him go back to being that little kid again. So you're gonna have to wait at least a year for me to like properly
Answer that question. Yeah, that's fair.
because I'll need some time to reflect. But as of right now, I'm gonna have to give it to Rory, like for his first.
I'll be honest. The way that I also kind of not necessarily grade, but like think about it is I'm like, all right, if I'm flipping through a book and I'm just looking at like every Masters winner has like the iconic photo, like Tiger, it's him going like this, with he's sticking up, like screaming with his golf club in the air. Rory's it's gonna be either the one where he's kind of like screaming or the one where he's like on the ground, like kind of on his knees.
I think the best thing they could do is they get him in the air and specifically with like him giving a little flick to the putter.
To the club.
Remember that, Augusta? He disrespected your green. Remember that. Disrespected your green. All I'm saying. I'm not lying. When I saw him throw the putter down, I literally thought in my head,
they're gonna revoke his Masters.
I know one chairman is livid. He just dropped the club that aggressively.
I will say there was one thing I wanted to add before we move on to the one sport we will talk about once a year. Apparently, an odd number of people made the cut this year. So, a member, I don't know how you get to become a member of Augusta National. I honestly have no idea how you just normally become a member of it. No idea how that works. But a member got to just casually play alongside. No, he just casually played alongside Tom
like
Kim
as his partner,
as like a marker, just to fill the spot. And I was like, could you just imagine you just casually just playing on Masters Sunday?
That's the most lit shit ever.
That's super lit, but also like I'd kind of be stressing, like, what if I just like accidentally shank a ball or some shit? Just
if you're a member though,
you're probably good enough. You're probably good enough.
You're excited because like shit.
No, 100%. I would 100% be excited, but like internally there would be a little bit of me like same way where like if you're at a club and they have like their parking lot or something right next to that first tee box and you're like, dude, what if I just accidentally just smash a windshield right now with like an errant drive? I'd be minorly concerned that I might, curve a ball a little bit and just smack the absolute crap out of one of the people watching. But maybe that's just because I'm not good enough at golf. I'm assuming members of Augusta National are probably pretty good at golf to
solid,
be there.
I would assume. Yeah. Can't confirm nor deny though.
No idea.
Cannot confirm.
No idea.
But yeah, that was a great tournament. That last Sunday was excellent. And okay, the answer has to be Rory because of how it happened. Like every single storyline you've ever heard. Oh, Rory's a choker. He had like 6 different choke moments.
He did. He also had like 6 different moments where he hit may or may not have been the greatest shot of like.
That's why I give him so credit is because he would make a gut wrenching, oh my god, mistake that for any normal human who golfs, that's the end of the round. The mental is completely gone after that shit. Yeah. There's no way you can mentally recover after effing up as bad as he was. But every single time he would just answer right back, just birdie the next one. He might be double bogeying that, but he's coming back with an eagle.
It's just like hitting,
just responding.
There's the one shot, I don't remember which hole it is, where he curves it all the way around the tree line and lands it on the green. There's the other shot
Yeah,
where he
that was
hit it
that
where he hit
through the
it
trees.
through the trees and up and over.
Yeah.
And like those two shots alone are
Even on the last hole, his
on the
shot
playoffs
at
or the very last one.
18th hole, not
No,
playoff,
I
18th
know, but
hole. His
playoffs was
shot,
on 18.
no, no, I know, but on the 18th
I
hole,
guess so.
his shot out of the sand, my jaw was on the floor. On the floor, how good that chip was. Oh my God. I was like, holy shit.
He
Holy
double
shit.
bogeyed on like two different
Every
holes through
time
that back
he's
nine.
like every time he's effed up, literally the next shot he's gonna do something good. But he misses that putt to win the Masters on 18. And shit. That is
I mean,
your
look,
opportunity
I'll be
to
honest.
we're done. I'm
If
never
you're
getting here
Justin
again.
Rose in that situation, like obviously you want to win the Masters, obviously, but a part of you is like, fuck, dude, I kind of want it. Like it's like Rory's opportunity to go Grand Slam. Like I don't want to be the guy that takes Grand
Maybe
Slam.
Justin Rose is like 43 though.
He also was
And he
apparently like
lost a playoff against Sergio Garcia in
yeah, he also is apparently
2017.
like a
Nah, he's
really
pissed.
nice guy though. Like
Yeah,
that
no,
is the
he's
other
super
side of
sweet.
it. But
He's
I
pissed,
just
yeah.
be like, I mean, at all would be like, dude, I don't want to be the guy that's like takes his last chance of winning a Grand Slam away from him.
Well, sure. Well, this is a cool
Doesn't mean I'm
story
not
I
going to
heard.
try to win. Like I will still try to win, but like
A cool story I heard was back in 2012 or 2011, Rory was in a race with Angel Cabrera, who ended up winning, and Rory had a massive lead over Cabrera, and he ended up winning. And
mhm.
before Sunday, Rory said he was in the locker room, opened his locker, and there was a handwritten note from Angel
Grant breaking
Cabrera.
news.
Okay,
North
all right.
Carolina is out of the mix for Tennessee
Oh,
quarterback Nico
that's not
Iamaleava.
fun. Oh God.
But had to break it. Had
The
to break it.
content that we could have had. I mean, could you imagine Bill Belichick's very first year in college football, and he takes the most controversial player you could have possibly taken?
True.
It would have
True.
been amazing.
Um,
It would have been beautiful.
all right, let's get to the NBA here and we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up with the NBA today.
Yeah, we can wrap up. NBA. Oh, this is gonna be a big year. This is going to be a big year. I really think Bron and AD could get something going. Austin Reeves just signed that extension. I'm expecting a big step up from him this year. Uh, I think we're gonna get the ball moving and we're gonna get the ball rolling. Sorry, rolling very quickly. Yeah, I was thinking though,
I mean,
like
look,
my hot take. It's I don't know if you'll see this coming, but my hot take is the Dallas Mavs trade Luka Doncic.
I was gonna say I think the Mavs are in a great spot to win the finals this year, coming off of last year's loss. Luka looks so good. Kyrie being there, and now you got all the youth coming in. Like that's a team that's gonna be there for the playoffs.
Yeah, I would say the one concern I have with Mavs is they just need a dominant big man. They're really missing just a dominant lights out big man. Uh, that's the last piece to the puzzle.
I don't know. I feel like that front court's just so good it doesn't matter.
I actually think the front court is so deep they could they can move on from one of these guys. They can move on from one.
So you think they should trade Kyrie? I don't even know what you
That's
would get
tough
back
because
for him.
Kyrie is such a great leader, and he does everything the right way, and you could tell he really loves Dallas. Like Kyrie's just one of the most loyal athletes in all of sports. He consistently plays for the name on the front of his jersey, never on the back. And he just exemplifies not just a great NBA superstar, but a great coworker and a great teammate, really.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, Luke is just the
Well,
face
also
of the
we
franchise.
gotta remember, I mean, Luka's so fat. I mean, you can't trust Hookah Doncic out here. When the guy,
Hey,
can you believe he had the nerve to drink a beer after winning the Western Conference? What do you think this is? The MLB? What do you think this is? The NHL? No, this is the NBA. All right. We have no controversies. Every single one of our players is a golden star
Actually, who I'm
child.
really, really confident in this year, though. I think Mike Malone is going to win Coach of the Year.
I don't. Hot
The
take.
Nuggets look so
Hot
good.
take. This isn't even an award, but it's going to be one. Darvin Ham, Assistant Coach of the Year.
I mean, I could see that.
Actually,
head coach experience.
Actually, an even bigger hot take. Bronny is going to he's going to dominate the G League. Absolutely eviscerate it. He's going to make everyone eat their
You want
words.
an even hotter hot take? I think he's going to start an NBA game. Not even like garbage time. Like he's going to get to start with LeBron in an important game.
An NBA game. Holy shit. Back to reality. Has he started an NBA game?
He has started. He has started. He's been a starter in an NBA game.
Started an NBA game?
He started in an NBA game. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if he's started.
Let me look. Bronny
started is
starter NBA game. On April 13th, 2025, Bronny James made his first NBA start for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yesterday. So yesterday.
Yep. His stat line finished with 4 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals in 38 minutes of play. Shot 2 of 10 from the field and 0 from 2 for 3.
Yeah. At this point, I really want him to succeed. I think it would be so.
It would be the greatest case of nepotism I think we've seen.
It would be one of my favorite examples in that, because like he has like nepotism, but like he's the victim of all the worst parts of nepotism. Like has there ever been a more scrutinized, called out NBA player? A second round. You should not give a shit about me at all. He's the most scrutinized ever.
Yeah, from that standpoint, definitely.
No other 56th pick in the NBA draft has ever had an expectation on them. Never. That's never existed until him. So like I
really think it's solely because LeBron has made it a huge deal, but also that LeBron is still in the league. Like if Michael Jordan was in the league and he had a kid, Jimmy Butler, let's say at the time, Jimmy Butler came up and started playing with Michael Jordan. All right, maybe there'd be a similar level, but it's never happened.
I will say at least this: Michael Jordan's kids. If you look up Michael Jordan's son basketball career,
there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
The greatness did not pass down. All right, the greatness stuck with the chosen one. All right.
Well, Jimmy Butler and Anthony Edwards both are doing pretty fucking good.
Ooh, Jim.
Made finals.
Jimmy Butler, I think he's a very entertaining player. I think he's excellent on the sense of he knows what it means to be an NBA. He knows how to be a star. He knows how to be the face of a team and stuff. But I don't quite get out here. Anthony Edwards, though, now that's a guy that you can be a fan of him. Just he is hilarious. Like in his interview clips, he is one of the funniest athletes maybe ever. But he also can give you 40 consistently. Jimmy,
yeah. What was his? Was he Kermit? Was that his name? Was it Kermit? And whatever the Adam,
I think actually, yeah, Kermit. That sounds correct. Yeah,
I don't remember.
Kermit. Shit, I literally wasn't even thinking about that.
That's where it first went to for me. I'll be honest. Mean,
he was excellent in that movie.
Acting chops too. Acting chops.
Yeah, he was the perfect. Like, I'm hot shit. I'm gonna be an asshole. He was perfect because guess what? That might be what he's like in real life a little bit.
A little bit, maybe a little bit.
I just want to say right there, never change.
No,
do not ever change Anthony Edwards.
It is being you. Just think about it too. Though he is only 23 grand.
Well, that's just NBA. Everyone is super.
No, I know, but like I'm just like, it's always crazy to me in the NBA because like all these guys who feel like they've been in there forever
Booker's are like 28.
No, but it's like guys who have been there forever are like really not that old. Like that's just entering your prime, like kind of. So
Yeah.
that's the craziest stuff to me.
Yeah, the NBA
I,
timeline it
I
skews your perspective.
yeah, I don't really know if we're gonna address the playoffs today because the playing games haven't happened. But I will say Lakers Wolves first round sucks for me because I'm a fan of both teams. But great matchup. That's gonna be a great matchup. Yeah,
Are you ready to select which team you're going to officially get behind and root for
for
that
between
series?
those two teams.
Yeah.
Oh God,
You don't need to
no.
make the selection today.
There's still
The
times for
first
the
game
team.
is on the 19th,
No,
so you got some
there are
time.
still times. There's still times for the teams to buy my favor. There's still times for the teams to buy my favor.
Okay. Okay.
They can
Yeah.
bids can be made.
Yeah, I quickly pulling up NBA standings real quick. Obviously the race at the end had me a little bit enticed, a little bit excited seeing it come down to the wire. Uh this is kind of one thing I'm most interested about though, about this playoff run. Is this going to be the year that one of these young teams who's a 1 seed, 2 seed,
Yeah, I mean
specifically Cavs Thunder,
we kind
could
of
they
we
do it?
kind of
Could they
we
do it?
kind of talked about that in the last episode, and I think it is possible. I do think though that would end up with the worst ratings of
Oh,
the
100%.
finals, and I think part of my mention is like,
Forget
are
that
they
though. I don't
actually?
even care about ratings. Just
No,
the
it is definitely possible.
like OKC Thunder, they are 68-14. That's one of the best records in NBA history. The Cavs, they are 64-18. Again, one of the best. That might be the best record in Cleveland Cavaliers franchise history ever. I don't
Says a
know
lot.
off the top of my head, but that might be. That's a lot of wins. I don't know if Braun ever got 64 wins on the Cavs. Shit, that is a lot. But the way these past playoff runs, for the most part, have been going is the older veteran led teams in a 7 game playoff series, more oftentimes than not, the team with more playoff experience, more veteran experience, they're going to win the series, usually.
I mean, I think overall, just looking at the run for like the Thunder, right? They're gonna play the Nuggets or the Clippers. Currently, I'm assuming it's probably going to be the Clippers based on just the last couple weeks of the Nuggets, and since they fired their head coach.
Well, I'm seeing right now Clippers got oh, you're saying next.
Yeah, I'm saying the next
Oh,
round.
so
Like
you're
we're
assuming
making
they
a
win
run.
the first round.
I'm just saying if they make a run, these are the teams they have to go through. I'm comparing. I'm saying I think overall the Thunder probably have an easier run to get to the finals compared to the Caps from that standpoint.
Ooh, yeah. I would disagree. The East is
Really?
so shit, Everett. Look at 3 through 10. The Knicks, the Pacers, the Bucks, the Pistons are the Detroit Pistons
Pistons
are
are
the
great. Well, they're
6.
going to get first rounded, but
The Magic are the 7 seed. Hawks are 8. Bulls are not. Oh my god.
I mean,
What?
I'm more so thinking about it like, okay, they're
Bro,
going to have to play
Clips or
the.
Nuggets is a tough ass series.
Yeah, I guess I was more so thinking about, okay, like by name power, like Giannis and Dame, and then you're going to end up getting a combination of either the Knicks or the
There's
Celtics.
so much more name power in the West than the East.
I know. I was just more so thinking like as a general bit. I wasn't thinking about like, all right. Um,
Like the thing is, the Thunder, they have a better record. Like statistically, they're a better team, but it's just they are so young. And I know Shea's putting up an absolute stinker in game 2. An absolute stinker. I'm talking 6 points, 9 rebounds, and 12 assists, and all of his fanboys will be like, he almost got a triple double. It's like, yeah, he was 3 for 19 from the field. Okay. I don't want to hear it. I know he's putting up a stinker. Chet's shitting his pants in the fourth quarter if he has to make a bucket and he has to go up against any meaningful big man down low. Yeah, no, he's going to F up. Rudy Gobert
I
would
mean,
be making him
also
scared.
I'm just looking at I really haven't paid attention to the Rockets this year, so I was very surprised when I saw they went 15 or 52 and 30. And I'm just looking at their roster too, and just based off of a glance, I'm very surprised they went 52 and 30.
They have
Um,
a good team in terms of all the parts whole. Like they
yes,
don't necessarily have
yes,
a Sengun's their best player. Sengun isn't exactly like an all NBA guy. Okay, like he's not gonna give you
yeah.
like 26 in a series. Like he's not gonna average that. But as a team overall, like they are very talented and they have a ton of depth. So
Yeah, that's what
Jalen
I'm saying
Green,
is the
everyone's
depth.
hurt. Like Sengun is excellent. Sengun's one of my favorite players to watch. They got Fred Van Fleet making 140 million.
Father Fred.
They got Amen Thompson. They got Dylan Brooks, Memphis, Jabari Smith, who I absolutely love. Oh yeah, Cam Whitmore buried on the depth chart. Yeah, Reed
Steve
Shepherd
Adams.
can't even get 10 minutes a night. Okay, they're a deep ass team, and I think right now in the NBA regular season, that's going to get you these wins in the regular season. Being so deep, these guys
Well, I was
they don't
bringing
really
that
get
up more
hurt.
so like I'm interested how they'll fare as a playoff team.
Oh, they're getting their shit pumped in. So it's looking like they're getting the Warriors. Yeah, Warriors and I was gonna say sweep Warriors in five.
Which is going
It
to be
will
interesting.
not be fair. How do you guard
Whichever
Steph
whichever
Curry?
team comes out of the Lakers Timberwolves matchup is it's going to be a really interesting series that next round.
Uh, yeah, it is pretty much yeah. It's gonna be Warriors versus the winner of Lakers T Wolves, and it's probably we're probably gonna get it. Just Lakers Warriors with Luca versus. I mean, what the hell are we? What are we talking about?
I
Oh
do
my
I do
god!
think
Oh
overall
my
like
god!
there's a very very solid way the Lakers make it to the NBA finals.
Yeah,
Very
it's
like possible.
pretty. There's a good chance,
And that's
and
also why I think it's very possible it's either the Lakers or the Warriors. I know we kind of talked about it before, those being the two most marketable like teams from the West.
yeah, not even close.
Because I think either the Lakers beat the Timberwolves
Suns
or
are a disaster.
or the
So
Warriors probably beat the Timberwolves right now. And either way, I think either of those two teams, either the Lakers or the Warriors, make it to the Western Conference Finals. They're going to win the Western Conference Finals. Um,
yeah,
so
because then they'll I think they're
it'll be on
probably
a
gonna
little
play Clippers Denver in the
probably
Western Conference Finals, and
probably.
yeah, like shit. Yeah, no, the Nuggets are going to beat the Clippers. They're going to beat the Clippers. I've seen the story too many times. James Harden play. I've seen it. I've seen it too many times. I've seen it too many times. I've seen
I
it too
just
much.
I also think like it's also very likely the Celtics come back out of the East,
They're going to be
and
in the NBA Finals
and
easily.
that's why I
That's a
think
lock.
think if you have Lakers with Luca first year that he's like
Yeah, no. That's what Adam Silver is trying
he's
his
cooking.
best to
Yeah,
conjure.
he's cooking. He's cooking it up. He's
He
cooking it up.
will summon that NBA Finals matchup.
He's
He'll
got the
call
pot
on
in
the
front of him
great
as a cauldron.
Gilgamesh, and he will find a way to get it to happen. But yeah, no, the East is an absolute joke. So like I'm expecting, yeah, we're gonna get a Celtics Cavs, yeah, Celtics Cavs NBA Finals, the best playoff series.
Donovan Mitchell's not about to lock in to make it to the NBA Finals. Donovan
Well,
Mitchell's
this
not
is their
making that happen.
road. First round, they get Magic, Hawks, Bulls, or the
I'm
Heat.
sorry. I'm sorry. Magic. What now?
Magic, Hawks, Bulls, or
Oh,
the Heat.
okay. That did not come out the way. Oh
No,
my
no,
God. That
Hawks, no, no,
yeah,
no.
that did not.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that first round is easy done.
it's a walk. Yeah, it's a walk.
Easy. And then the next round they get Milwaukee. Now
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult.
that one could be interesting.
They do have Darvin Ham though.
Oh yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that factor. That really hurts the Bucks. Uh but yeah, no. The Bucks are dead. great run that one time, that one year with Giannis, but they traded Middleton. Kuzma is their three. Kuzma's their third option. So come on, we know the answer to
Nice.
that one. Uh, actually, yeah, no. Now I think, yeah, no. Cavs are going to beat the Bucks. Cavs are going to be the Bucks. Then we get Celtics, Cavs, Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics, Knicks. You know what? I'm gonna say it right now. Knicks. It's going to be
It'll make it
1-1.
hard. It'll
It'll
make it
be
hard.
1-1 in that Celtics Knicks series. Okay. It's the series will end 4-2, but it will be 1-1 at one point, and people will be
I honestly could even say
enthralled.
it might even be 1-2 to start, Grant.
1-2 New York.
Well, yeah,
Bing
two
bong.
Bing Bong 2-1 New
All right.
York's up.
Yeah, no, specifically for sidewalk content, I would love that. I would love that if the Knicks could pull that one off. But also just like Knicks, just Nova Knicks vibes. You know, Nova Knicks vibes. You're guaranteed at least 1-4-1 in the playoffs. So whenever that, it'll have to be in the first round.
Yeah.
4-1 Detroit. Yeah, Knicks are gentlemen sweeping them.
Always got to be a proper gentleman. Always got to let them get the one game, just for confidence.
A true gentleman sweep. You give them game 4. A true gentleman sweep.
Right on the turnaround, right on the turn, like the turn back. You let them get that, and then you come back and you just
let that, and give it to them at home.
Give
all the fans something. You have some.
You want to get revenue too, like
you remember a playoff win with this young core. You're like, yeah, we beat the Knicks at home. Yeah, and then game 5, you beat them 140-76.
I mean,
Cunningham 3 for 25 shooting. Like, yeah.
I think that we got. I mean, I'll be honest. I think Grant, could 2025 be one of the best years? I shouldn't say 2025, but just like this sports cycle be like the best year for matchups, like Rory and the Masters, Dodger Yankees, Lakers Celtics. If that happens, I know Duke didn't make March Madness,
but Final Four as a whole,
still Final Four as a whole. Super Bowl was Chiefs Eagles, although the Super Bowl did kind of just suck.
That was, but it's not. But
matchup
in terms of matchup,
it's about there.
That was a good, one of the best matchups you could have had.
You could have asked for, yeah. So, I mean, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity for a solid sweep here. I mean, national championship game by brand. Ohio State, Notre Dame by brand.
It is 2 of the largest brands in the sport. That
like is NHL, we will still have to see, but
Nations Cup, USA versus Canada, still counts.
Yes,
that counts.
Yes, that counts. That counts.
All right, yeah, okay. This might.
So we're in contention. We're in contention. We might need a phase optic matchup somewhere in here. I don't know where that would come into play, but
is Federer still kicking it? Can we get
like Federer is unfortunately not kicking it no more. He is retired. Unfortunately.
Shit. We
Alcaraz is technically like he's up there. Something with Alcaraz.
We needed Tiger. Could you imagine if it was just Tiger, Rory, and Phil, them 3 in the
three playoff
Sunday Masters? Could you imagine? Like,
oh gosh, that would definitely be up there. But we do have a very good opportunity here for a cycle. I have of some sort, as I would put it.
As you're bringing this up, the championships, they have been pretty damn good. Now that you're going over it, but I feel like this has been one of the 2024-2025 sports calendar.
Yeah.
One of the least memorable regular seasons I've had in forever. Regular seasons all kind of just went by.
Hey, playoffs where it matters.
Playoffs
is where it matters. Also, to be fair, when you don't watch basketball or hockey until the playoffs, by the way, I mean, hockey
should do it.
Hockey is the best playoffs of every sport. But when you don't watch any of that, like, yeah, it might go by a little bit faster. It might make things feel differently. Football wise, I agree with that from a regular season college perspective. From an NFL perspective, I feel like there's some more weight for the NFL games, for me at least.
Oh yeah, Vikings are on a roll.
So, but No, definitely from college football standpoint, especially with Ohio State. Yeah, yeah, I would understand that.
Yeah, I mean that was exhilarating for me, of course.
Um,
Yeah.
but
To
yeah,
be
with
honest, of
that,
all the season, without question for me, most memorable was the Dodger regular season in my eyes, which is crazy, crazy to say. Shout out
um,
Kevin Biggio. I'll never forget you.
yeah, I mean, with that, I think we'll wrap up here. So thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me on Twitter at Everstakes and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube, all podcast formats. So make sure you subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok. So make sure to check us out there as well. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.